somewhere between a prophet of the Lord and a false prophet or prophet of the devil is what I like to call a lying prophet. Now, it is possible for a prophet of the Lord to tell lies, either because that person believes he or she has heard something from the Lord, or worse, the Lord has not spoken, but a person speaks as if the Lord did. There's some people who have lost their reverential fear for the Lord, and they just start saying stuff as they please in His name. Sometimes it's a manifestation of pride, like a person who's very proud. If they are offended, they may start making proclamations in the name of the Lord, even though He hadn't spoken. But a person who is a lying prophet is actually operating in a form of witchcraft, because witchcraft is, at its core, is manipulation. When you're trying to intimidate or even dominate someone. So we're going to take a look at what it's like to be a lying prophet. And let us caution you that as a part of this prophetic academy, that you do not become a lying prophet, because there are serious consequences for doing so. In Jeremiah 14, starting verse 11, "Then said the Lord unto me, Pray not for this people for their good. When they fast, I will not hear their cry. And when they offer burnt offering and an oblation, I will not accept them, but I will consume them by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence. Then said I, Ah, Lord God, behold, the prophets say unto them, Ye shall not see the sword, neither shall ye have famine, but I will give you assured peace in this place." So Jeremiah was saying what the other prophets were saying. They will have peace and plenty, no famine. Then the Lord said unto me, The prophets prophesy lies in my name. The prophets prophesy lies in my name. Many prophets are doing that nowadays. They'll say, oh, the Lord has a word of the month. And part of the reason why you find out, how you find out it was a lie, the word doesn't come to pass. You show up somewhere. Oh, the Lord showed me that 10 people have a $100 donation. Oh, really? That's what the Lord showed you? So they're prophesying lies in the Lord's name. I sent them not, neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them. They prophesy unto you a false vision, and divination, and a thing of naught, and the deceit of their heart. So being a lying prophet, that is a heart condition. And usually starts small. You tell a little lie here. It may seem as if the Lord doesn't do anything to you. You keep on telling more lies. Next thing you know, you just become an outright liar. The Lord doesn't speak, but you're professing to speak in His name, on His behalf. But in 2 Thessalonians, Paul wrote about those who do not love the truth, that the Lord gives them over to a strong delusion so that they'll believe the lie. So do not become a lying prophet, because next thing you know, you start telling lies in the Lord's name, and you start believing that you heard from the Lord, even though you didn't, because the Lord hands you over. God is not mocked. So let's back up. The Lord said, the prophets prophesy lies in my name. So let's look at some things to avoid prophesying lies in the Lord's name. He said, I sent them not. If you're going to do something, ensure the Lord sent you. or put you in a position to prophesy to people. Then said, neither have I commanded them. What you're saying, has the Lord commanded you to speak it? Did he command you to release that message? Neither spake unto them. They didn't hear from him at all. They prophesy unto you a false vision. So in accordance with 1 John 4:1, test the spirit, whether it's a vision or regardless of how you otherwise receive or perceive something that you think is from the Lord. And divination, and a thing of naught, and the deceit of their heart. Sometimes people are quote unquote prophesying, but they're doing so from their flesh. For example, you may hear some pastor saying, "Oh, if you leave this church, you're going to be cursed." That kind of stuff is from the flesh, not from the Lord. And it continues. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, concerning the prophets that prophesy in my name, and I sent them not. Yet they say, sword and famine shall not be in this land. By sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed. Don't play with the Lord. Everything they were saying would not happen was going to happen to them. That was a part of their judgment. And the people to whom they prophesy shall be cast out in the streets of Jerusalem because of the famine and the sword, and they shall have none to bear them, their wives, nor their sons, nor their daughters, for I will pour their wickedness upon them. Do not play with the Lord. Do not start telling lies in his name. If you believe you receive something from the Lord, test the spirit. If you're not sure, the Lord will keep on, in a sense, putting a pressure on you to release that message. In Jeremiah 20, verse 9, he said that he didn't want to speak the Lord's name, speak the words. But he said the words was in his bone, or shut up in his bone, or shut, it was like fire, shut up in his bones. So he had to release those words. Do not get in the habit of thinking because you're a prophet, you can just say whatsoever, and the Lord's going to back you up. Or in some cases, just say whatsoever because you're trying to manipulate people into doing something, claiming it was from the Lord, but the Lord had not spoken. There are consequences. We will have to give an account for all the words that we've spoken, all the idle words. Do not use the Lord's name in vain. I'll give you some other examples of lying prophets. There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. In 1 Kings 13, the Lord had sent a prophet from Judah to prophesy in Bethel. And he gave him some instructions. And after the prophet had done those things and he left the town, start in verse 11 of 1 Kings 13. Now there dwelt an old prophet in Bethel, and his sons came and told him all the works that the man of God had done that day in Bethel, the words which he had spoken unto the king, them they also told their father. So the Lord sent a prophet from Judah to Bethel to prophesy. Now, why didn't he use the prophet who was already in Bethel? Well, he can do that. But we're going to see something here about the character of the prophet from Bethel. That kind of gives us a clue why the Lord didn't use him for that assignment. And their father said unto them, what way went he? For his sons had seen what way the man of God went, which came from Judah. And he said unto his sons, saddle me the ass, So they saddled him the ass, and he rode thereon, and went after the man of God, and found him sitting under an oak. And he said unto him, Art thou the man of God that camest from Judah? And he said, I am. Then he said unto him, Come home with me, and eat bread. And he said, I may not return with thee, nor go in with thee, neither will I eat bread, nor drink water with thee in this place. For it was said to me by the word of the Lord, Thou shalt eat no bread, nor drink water there, nor turn again to go by the way that thou camest. A couple of things. In verse 11, it said that there was a prophet in Bethel. But every time they're speaking about the Judean, they call him a man of God. There is a difference. So the man of God was telling the prophet the instructions the Lord had given to him, that he couldn't return to the city, couldn't have anything to eat or drink there. And that was the word of the Lord. But things are about to get ugly. He said unto him, I am a prophet also, as thou art. So that was true. He was a prophet. But the question is, was he a prophet of the Lord? Did he have integrity? And it continues, And an angel spake unto me by the word of the Lord, saying, Bring him back with thee into thine house, that he may eat bread and drink water. But he, the Bethelite, lied unto him, the Judean. So he said that he was a prophet also, and then he lied unto him. What kind of prophet would do that? Cause someone else to disobey the Lord. In Jeremiah 28, when Hananiah was making all those bold prophecies in the house of God, he was doing the same thing, leading people into rebellion against the Lord. When you're a prophet, there are times when you have to walk alone, even amongst other prophets. We see how in 1 Kings 22, Ahab had consulted with his 400 prophets, and they told him he should go to battle at Ramoth Gilead. Well, then Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, asked for a prophet of the Lord. Micaiah showed up and said something else. And the person who went to go get Micaiah was telling him to come into agreement with the false prophets. Well, he said he could only give him the word of the Lord. And that's what he did. When the Lord tells you to do something, stick with that. Do not follow someone else who gives you a message claiming it's from the Lord that is contrary to what the Lord had told you. There's going to be consequences for that person, but if you disobey the Lord, there are going to be consequences for you. And it continues. So he went back with him and did eat bread in his house and drank water. See, the prophet or the man of God from Judah did not consult with the Lord to verify if what the Bethelite was saying was correct. There's a possibility he could have asked the Lord, and the Lord would not have answered, because he had told him before what not to do. So why would he change his mind? But the Bethelite had no reverence for the Lord to tell such a lie using the Lord's name. And it came to pass, as they sat at the table, that the word of the Lord came unto the prophet that brought him back. So isn't that something? The prophet lied to him, and now he's getting a true word of the Lord. And a part of what condemns a lying prophet is that the prophet may actually still hear from the Lord on occasion. So this prophet, because he's about to hear something from the Lord for the other prophet, the Judean, the Bethelite is hearing something from the Lord for the Judean, and the Lord didn't rebuke the Bethelite, he may have thought it was okay to keep on using the Lord's name in vain like that. But the Lord, he's a God of righteousness. And he cried unto the man of God that came from Judah, saying, Thus saith the Lord, forasmuch as thou hast disobeyed the mouth of the Lord, and hast not kept the commandment which the Lord thy God commanded thee, but camest back, and hast eaten bread, and drunk water in the place, of which the Lord did say to thee, Eat no bread, and drink no water, thy carcass shall not come unto the sepulchre of thy fathers. So the prophet who led the man of God astray was now proclaiming judgment on him. Do not receive a word from someone you cannot trust. Because like from the same mouth, you have two different things coming. Now the second message was truly valid. It was from the Lord. But if you know someone has a history of lying, you don't want to be in a position for that person to be able to give you a true prophecy. And it continues. And it came to pass, after he had eaten bread, and after he had drunk, that he saddled for him the ass, to wit, for the prophet whom he had brought back. He's about to send him off, but here's where to put this man's life in jeopardy. And when he was gone, a lion met him by the way, and slew him, and his carcass was cast in the way, and the ass stood by it. The lion also stood by the carcass. So because that prophet disobeyed the Lord, to include by following another prophet, it cost him his life. As a prophet of the Lord, you're under constraint. Go where he tells you to go, do what he tells you to do. If someone else trying to contradict the Lord, obey God. And behold, men passed by and saw the carcass cast in the way, and the lion standing by the carcass. And they came and told it in the city where the old prophet dwelt. And when the prophet that brought him back from the way heard thereof, he said, It is the man of God who was disobedient unto the word of the Lord. The one who led him astray was now calling him disobedient. You don't want to keep company with a lying prophet. And you certainly do not want to become a lying prophet. Therefore, the Lord had delivered him unto the lion, which hath torn him and slain him according to the word of the Lord, which he spake unto him. Could it be that the Lord did not use a prophet in Bethel because he had a history of lying? Could it be? And he spake to his sons, saying, Saddle me the ass. And they saddled him. And he went and found his carcass cast in the way, and the ass and the lion standing by the carcass. The lion had not eaten the carcass, nor torn the ass. And the prophet took up the carcass of the man of God, and laid it upon the ass, and brought it back. And the old prophet came to the city to mourn and bury him. And he laid his carcass in his own grave, and they mourned over him, saying, Alas, my brother. I didn't hear the old prophet saying he was sorry. Sorry for misusing the Lord's name. Sorry for leading that man to his death. And it came to pass, after he had buried him, that he spake to his sons, saying, When I am dead, then bury me in the sepulchre wherein the man of God is buried. Lay my bones beside his bones. And as a prophet, you have to be careful about false prophets trying to share the stage with you, in a manner of speaking, as a part of trying to validate their own ministries. So sometimes you have to separate from others, especially when you know they're false. The Lord may not have you call them out, but don't keep company with them. For the saying which he cried by the word of the Lord against the altar in Bethel, and against all the houses of the high places which are in the cities of Samaria, shall surely come to pass. So he was validating the things the Lord had sent the prophet from Judah to prophesy in Bethel. So there was wickedness going on in the Bethelite prophets' neighborhood. But he wasn't speaking out against those things. The Lord may have had a lot of reasons for not using the Bethelite in his own hometown. Go look at the book of Nehemiah, another example of lying prophets. And a lying prophet engages in what I called prophetic witchcraft, using their gift and or calling to manipulate people. So Nehemiah 6. Now it came to pass when Sanballat and Tobiah and Geshem the Arabian and the rest of our enemies heard that I had builded the wall, and that there was no breach left therein, though at that time I had not set up the doors upon the gates, that Sanballat and Geshem sent unto me, saying, Come, let us meet together in some of the villages in the plain of Ono. But they thought to do me mischief. And I sent messengers unto them, saying, I am doing a great work, so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease whilst I leave and come down to you? Do not go down to another person's level. When you're doing the work of the Lord, do that. Be faithful to the Lord. Yet they sent unto me 4 times after this sort, and I answered them after the same manner. Be faithful to the work of the Lord. Then sent Sanballat his servant unto me in a like manner the 5th time with an open letter in his hand, wherein was written, It is reported among the heathen, and Gashmu saith it, that thou and the Jews think to rebel, which cause thou buildest the wall, that thou mayest be their king, according to these words. People rely on you. And thou hast also appointed prophets to preach of thee at Jerusalem, saying, There is a king in Judah. And now shall it be reported to the king according to these words. Come now therefore, and let us take counsel together. Lies, lies, and more lies. And people do that. When you're trying to do the work of the Lord, Nehemiah was trying to rebuild the wall, and they're trying to tear him down. But the Lord will deal with those who are contending with you while you're doing his work. Then I sent unto him, saying, there are no such things done as thou sayest, but thou feignest them out of thine own heart. For they all made us afraid, saying, their hands shall be weakened from the work, that it be not done. Now therefore, O God, strengthen my hands. Afterward, I came unto the house of Shemaiah, the son of Delaiah, the son of Mehethabeel, who was shut up. And he said, let us meet together in the house of God, within the temple, and let us shut the doors of the temple, for they will come to slay thee. Yea, in the night will they come to slay thee. And I said, should such a man as I flee? And who is there that, being as I am, would go into the temple to save his life? I will not go in. And lo, I perceived that God hath not sent him. Thank the Lord for the Holy Spirit to help us with the discernment. And there are a lot of ways where he exposes a person as being a liar. But that he pronounced this prophecy against me, for Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him. Do not become a prophet for hire. That's a part of Balaam's downfall. When you become a prophet for hire, then money becomes your god. And rather than being a prophet, you actually become a diviner. So, therefore was he hired that I should be afraid. God hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but a lying prophet will try to instill fear into you. That's part of the intimidation, to dominate you, to use his or her gift and or calling to cause you to take action contrary to the will of God, but that prophet is making him or herself God. So therefore, he was hired that I should be afraid and do so and sin, and that they might have matter of an evil report, that they might reproach me. My God, think upon Tobiah and Sanballat according to these their works, and on the prophetess Noadiah and the rest of the prophets that would have put me in fear. You don't go around trying to spread messages of fear that were not from the Lord, but from your own flesh, or because people hired you to do it. Maybe someone offended your pastor, so you're going to prophesy, quote unquote prophesy, to keep people in check. A lying prophet. Do not become one. Do not tolerate them. So the wall was finished in the 20th and 5th day of the month of Elul, in 52 days. And it came to pass that when all our enemies heard thereof, and all the heathen that were about us saw these things, they were much cast down in their own eyes, for they perceived that this work was wrought of our God. Moreover, in those days the nobles of Judah sent many letters unto Tobiah, and the letter of Tobiah came unto them. For there were many in Judah sworn unto him, because he was a son-in-law of Shechaniah, the son of Arah, and the son of Johanan, had taken the daughter of Meshullam, the son of Bechariah. Also they reported his good deeds before me, and uttered my words to him. And Tobiah sent letters to put me in fear. Do not use your gift and or calling to try to manipulate people, because that turns you from being a prophet, and especially a prophet of the Lord, to a witch. Anyone who engages in witchcraft is a witch. You keep on doing it, then you become an unrepentant witch. You can say you're a prophet, and you may have been called by the Lord as a prophet. But if you keep on doing that mess, then you engage in witchcraft. Do not tell lies in the Lord's name. You do not want to appear before the Lord on Judgment Day, or sooner, to give an account for yourself for telling lies in his name. Hananiah told lies in the Lord's name, and the Lord killed him 2 months later after Jeremiah pronounced judgment on him. Do not play. Do not play. And if you see a prophet telling lies, get away from that prophet. You do not want to share in the prophet's judgment. This concludes this episode of the Prophetic Academy, focusing on lying prophets.